What's going on, y'all, and welcome on in. So I logged in today just to do, start my dailies, all that good stuff, prep the live stream, and I was greeted with this awesome message. So now I can finally talk with you guys, my YouTube boys, about this official collab. So long story short, we've already known about the collab for, I think, almost 2 months now. It was actually in the datamined, guys. And then about maybe a month ago, Smilegate officially announced there was a collab coming, and now today we have the full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. But months ago, boys, we saw the datamined that had exactly who was coming. We knew it was full Metal Alchemist, but out of respect for Smilegate, because I don't think, I don't want to talk about leaked stuff. I'm not sure how they feel about, talking about datamined info, and, it's never official, even if it's in the game. So now that it's officially announced, let's talk all about it. So in this video, I want to cover a few things. Number one, how do you feel about full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, both the anime or the manga, whatever it might be? And then how do you feel about them coming to E7? And second follow-up question, how do you feel about the 3 characters they chose to bring? I have some mixed thoughts, maybe some spicy views on that. But overall, after that, let's cover how many bookmarks you need to save up. I guess predictions on who's going to be limited, who's going to be the free one, and then we'll base off things like how powerful or how many artifacts, how much powder, all the bookmark stuff, all the guide pulling stuff based off of previous collabs, maybe just to give you an idea of what to expect if this is your first collab, okay? So yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and talk about who might be coming to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I say might because, like I mentioned in the start, we've had a data mine of who we think or who's in the game files already, so let's go ahead and just talk about that now and show you guys who might. It's not official yet, right? Smilegate can still change it up, but with the whole data mine from the summer event, this was already in July 21st. I didn't cover any of this, like I mentioned. I don't want to talk too much about leaked stuff, but we might as well talk about it here since it's officially announced. The voice lines were found in the game for Edward Elric, Roy Mustang, and then Lisa Hawkeye. I think in some anime or some translations, it's actually pronounced Riza or typed out as Riza Hawkeye, but those are the 3 characters coming out. So guys, how do you feel about all 3? For me, Edward Elric, of course, the main character. You gotta have him without question. I am a little sad though not to see Alphonse. I would have loved to see Alphonse in his armored version, in my opinion, since that's where he's shown most. And then Roy Mustang, of course, you gotta have him as well. I think Araminta, the Fire Mage Araminta from Epic 7. I think Smilegate had a lot of inspiration, actually, guys, from Roy Mustang. If you haven't watched the anime yet, make sure y'all check it out before the collab drops. It is one of the highest rated, just widely regarded, top tier animes out there. I don't want to hype it up too much, but in my honest opinion, it's super, super solid. I think most people that enjoy anime will like it. It has something for everybody. It has a lot of action. There's some dark moments. There's some light moments. Whatever it is, it's probably got something for you. So make sure you check it out. Now, the one I don't like too much, and I hope Lisa or Riza Hawkeye fans don't get mad at me, guys. I loved her in the story. Don't get me wrong. I thought she was great in the anime. But as one of our 3 characters, and especially as our only waifu, I think there was way better choices. Lust, right? I'm going to try to keep spoilers light, but I would have preferred to see Lust. Armstrong's sister, I believe her name was like Olivier Armstrong, or even their name, I forget the name, but Edward and Alphonse's mentor that kind of takes them in and teaches them early. I would have preferred a lot of other characters over Riza, but I'm not super disappointed that she's there. Let me know what you guys think about the 3 characters and Full Metal Alchemist overall. Love the anime. Would I have preferred it as my top pick for collabs? Honestly, even though I love the anime, I think it's one of the best out there. I think I would have preferred a different show. I don't know what it is exactly, because like I keep saying, I love FMA, but it wouldn't have been my top pick. But I'm not disappointed that we're getting a very, very nice collab. And my overall hope is that a lot of you guys enjoy it, and maybe we'll pick up a lot of FMA fans that'll try out Epic 7 for the first time. Okay, let me show you guys real fast just some pictures of so on the right hand side right here, guys, this is of course Roy Mustang. If you haven't watched it, this is Riza Hawkeye, and in the story, they're close in the story, but I won't spoil anything. You guys will have to watch it for yourself if you haven't already. And then here we have a small picture of Edward. You already know what Edward is. He is the Full Metal Alchemist, as you can tell from part of his arm. But yeah, I won't say too much about the whole naming because there's a lot of spoilers and stuff, especially when we talk about Edward and Alphonse. Anyways, this is what we're getting, boys. So let me know what you guys think about FMA coming. Okay, now that we know who's exactly coming to the collaboration, let's take a look at the previous collabs, and we can kind of piece together or take some good guesses as to what to expect, as well as maybe predict which character is going to be the free one. I'll tell you, if you don't know what that means, I'll go ahead and explain it slowly here as we cover. Let's go ahead and take a trip through memory lane together, guys, and just take a look at the old collab. So this is actually the most recent, one of the most recent before Jacko came out. I think this is the second iteration. Yeah, the action returns after 1 year. I just pulled up the first collab link I found. But before Elfelt was introduced, guys, I don't know why they keep showing Jacko here. I'm actually disappointed. I forgot that they kept showing Jacko, boys. But actually, right, this was before Elfelt. So the three characters we got with Guilty Gear in the very beginning, Smilegate loves to bring out 3 collaboration characters. I think that's pretty much par for the course when a game collabs with another IP, anime game, whatever it might be. They bring out 3 characters. Epic 7 is no different. We had Soul, Dizzy, and Biken. And of course, as we all know, right guys, unless you're brand new, Soul was our free character. And what I mean by free character was you didn't have to save up Covenant bookmarks. So make sure you remember that part. More than likely for the FMA, 2 of the characters, right, we're gonna have to summon for, meaning hopefully you boys are saving up enough to pity. We'll cover that there at the end. Just real fast, we'll recap our thoughts on what to be saving up for, including artifacts. But Soul was for free, Dizzy you had to summon for, and Biken you had to summon for. Now, on top of that, guys, the Dizzy and Biken artifacts, while in the very, very beginning, this was, I think, almost 3 years ago now, the Dizzy and Biken artifacts, even way back then, when we weren't fully sure how the game would develop, how the meta would develop, their artifacts, people predicted might be good, might not be good. But the thing I want y'all to take note of is, even though they weren't super impressive on the spot, they haven't been buffed since, I'm pretty sure. And so still to this day, I haven't even pulled the Dizzy or the Biken artifacts, haven't needed them. Just sort of a heads up that if you do miss out on maybe the current artifacts, there's a chance, you know, they aren't top tier meta breaking arties. So just a heads up, we'll cover that when we actually see what is what the artifacts actually do. But overall, these 2 were kind of misses, or at least not misses, but you didn't have to. Even though they were limited, we were okay. I was okay not pulling them ever. I still don't have either of those. Elfeltz was a different story, but we don't have to talk about her since we're talking about just the original 3. So take note that Soul, the male character, was the free unit. Okay, guys? So let's move on to the next collab. And we have the ReZero collaboration here with Amelia, Rem, and Ram. So this was a very, very important collaboration. Amelia's still insanely strong to this day. Rem, very important for, what do you call it, anti-cleaving and things like that. She's kind of fallen off a little bit here and there, but still a very amazing unit that you want to have ready for anti-cleave. And then Ram, the pink-haired twin, was the free unit. She's kind of, a lot of people aren't using her, but if you did need like an easy access to Banshee one-shot, you have her. So once again, like Soul, guys, when I say free, that means you didn't have to summon her with bookmarks. You got her through the event, and just like Soul, you were able to triple S and even plus 30 max limit breaker artifact for free. So I'm assuming that we got one more to cover, guys, but I'm assuming for the FMA collab it'll be the same. Last one we need to cover here, we have, of course, the slime collab, where we had Rimuru, the Shuna, the priestess, and then Milim. Shuna was our free one, so we were able to triple S her for free. We were able to get max limit break Artie, and Milim and Rimu to this day are still very, very solid. Rimu probably more so than Milim, but Milim, if anytime Landy gets out of hand, you know you need that Milim in check. She's always going to be good as long as Landy's good, in my opinion. This was also a very, very intense collab that really shook up the game. The artifacts for Milim, not too important. Same thing for Rimu. You could, some people use them for both, but not as impressive as, like, let's say Elfelt's artifact or Amelia's artifact, Guardian Ice Crystals, for example. But I think if we gauge all the arties together, boys, you probably just want to pick up a limited copy just in case. But overall, if we look at the 3 collabs together, let's start from the beginning. I mentioned the Dizzy and Biken one wasn't that great to this day. The Amelia one, very good. Rem's artifact, in my opinion, totally skippable. And then for the last collab, Milim's artifact, definitely skippable. Some people like it on her, but you really don't need it. And same thing for Rimu's. It kind of had a place at some point for some warriors, but yeah, to this day, it's not meta by any means. So overall, it seems like it actually ended up being, after we look at it in hindsight, that the artifacts, none of them, or the majority of them, were not must-haves. But I think you still need to try and get the limited arties just in case they get buffed, in case a new unit comes out that can use them. So for now, guys, even though I mentioned that some of them were duds, just plan to get all the limited arties as well. Remember, one of them should be free. Shuna's, Souls, and who was it from the ReZero one? rams. Those arties will be free. So at most, you'll have to pick up 2 limited artifact copies, okay? So let's go ahead and wrap up the video with summon suggestions. Oh, one last thing, guys. I wanted to do something fun with y'all real fast. I asked this question in the beginning. Let's go ahead and now predict who's going to be the free character and which 2 will be the ones we have to summon for. If, of course, these are the summonable characters. So, top left, guys, I mentioned it, that this is Alphonse Elric. Don't worry about him. He's not in the collab unless they change things up. This is Roy Mustang. This is Lisa or Riza Hawkeye. And then, of course, we have Edward Elric, the main character, at the bottom right. So, if you take a look at the free characters that were in the previous collabs that I just, talked about, we had Soul Bad Guy, we had Shuna, and we had Ram, right? Now, unfortunately, the free characters are usually the weakest of the bunch. I guess Smilegate doesn't want to give a super strong character for free. A little disappointing, but I kind of get it. It is what it is. So, who do we predict, guys, will be our free character, and which 2 will be summonable, and which 2 will be more than likely more powerful than their third counterpart? So, my prediction, guys, is Roy and Edward this time are going to be the limited or the summonable characters, meaning they'll more likely will be more powerful, and Lisa Hawkeye will be for free. And one other important thing, if that's the case, or regardless, whatever it is, since we have 2 male characters, 2 husbandos this time around, one of them for sure is going to be, this will be our first time we have a non-free collab male character. So good news for those of you that like these guys or just want more husbandos in the game. That's my prediction, though. Lisa will be the free one. Let me know what you guys think. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up real nicely here. We've kind of gone long enough. Last thing is just summon suggestions. I sort of talked about here and there. You want to make sure you pick up both copies of the characters. You want to make sure you pick up, of course, guys, both artifacts. Even if they end up not being great, just stay on the safe end. I need to follow my own advice here. I need more bookmarks. Of course, I've been stocking up a ton of Sky Stone, so I'm good in that regard, but you guys would be proud of me. Hopefully you watched my Pirate Captain Flan video. If you haven't, check it out. It's very, very nice. Gives her a spot in PvP in higher levels of play. But I'm skipping on this just so I can save just enough in case I really, really need to go crazy to get multiple copies of characters, or I get super unlucky, pulling artifacts and I don't want to spend powder. I'm saving everything for that point, but I definitely got a shop refresh to get some more stuff here. Make sure, guys, so in total, you're going to want at least, right, for 2 limited characters, assuming they follow the formula, 1 free character, 2 limiteds that you have to summon for. That's going to be a grand total of, quick math in my head, boys, 11.5 times 2. What is that? 23,000 Sky Stones? Double check my math, boys. 23,000 Sky Stones or 605 bookmarks times 2. That's going to be 1,210 bookmarks. You can combine the 2. You can mix and match. Just make sure you have enough to full pity 2 characters worth of summons. All right. On top of that, guys, if you get unlucky and you don't get the artifacts along the way for the 2 heroes, because remember, the 3rd artifact will be free, make sure you got some powder saved up as well. It's going to be a total of 240, right? When it's not on discount for the bottom part, it's always this, the 240 powder cost. And so if you haven't already hustled, boys, if you don't have 480, and that's a lot, I don't expect a lot of y'all to have 480 powder, but have at least 240, and then you might need to fish or summon more for the artifact that you're missing. Okay. Anyways, guys, let's wrap it up there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm excited for this. I hope some of y'all are as well. Make sure you let me know what you think about FMA, Full Metal Alchemist, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.